My name is Aimee Doyle and I'm the team lead occupational therapist at the Speech and Language Center. Today we're going to be looking at some clips of an occupational therapy session with Yunel. Yunel has been coming and working on his fine motor skills, his reflex integration, and general motor planning and praxis type things. So let's take a look at this first clip. So what you just saw was an example of a child-led activity. And basically, Yunel picked the activity that he wanted to do, which was the Velcro fruits and the shape sorter. And I adapted the activity to require him to follow multiple steps, to follow visual directions. For Yunel specifically, we work a lot on grasping and releasing items because he typically still has that reflex where if he grabs something, he closes his hand around it and doesn't let go. And we're kind of working on him being able to purposely release something into a target so that we're working on that hand-eye coordination and also inhibiting that reflex so that when he starts writing, when he starts getting old enough to color, he can use functional grasp on different utensils. Next up, we're gonna see a clip of Yunel doing some child-led therapy techniques with the scooter track.
I see you. Let me lift it up. Make a crash.
As you can see, Yunel is pushing the scooter, unsure about whether he's gonna get on and just exploring it. And then he moves on to more in-depth, and then eventually he ends up getting on the coaster and riding down the track. Using child-led therapy, the child is picking the activity that is meaningful to them so that they are excited to do it. Whereas if I'm picking the activity and it's not something that they're interested in or I'm forcing them into it, they're not gonna get anything out of it. So for example, I let him set the pace, I let him push the scooter and sort of explore the toy instead of just picking him up, sticking him on the coaster and sending him on his way so that he actually felt comfortable enough to do it himself. And the end goal was for him to be able to tolerate that movement where you have to engage your core, tolerate the rocky movement on an uneven surface so that he's integrating a whole bunch of his senses. And he did awesome. Next, we're gonna look at the part of the session where Yunel needed a little bit of a break, and you're gonna see how he can do the activity that he picked, get the break that he needs while still working on some functional skills.
You like to go fast, huh? Go fast.
As you can see, Yunel is sitting on the swing and I have my hand supporting his back. And what I was doing was while he's getting just the linear calming movement that he needs, I keep adjusting the speed of the swing so that he's having to make a postural correction. So we're still engaging his core to work on some strengthening while he's still getting the movement that he needs. So incorporating breaks for kids, especially younger ones when we have sort of a longer appointment time, is really important because we don't want to wear them out and still want their full engagement while also making good use of the time that we're together. So working with Yunel, I kind of learned pretty quickly that he needed a child-led approach because if I presented an activity, we weren't gonna do it pretty much. We have gone from him sort of not interacting, not engaging with me, to him picking out a toy, bringing it to me, sitting with me, and we play together. Now he will pick up a toy and grasp it, release it, whereas before we were seeing more of just grasping, holding onto it for the entire session and having a meltdown if we took it out of his hand. And there's some parts in the clips where you can see me take something out of his hand and he's fine with it. He's okay, he's gonna move on to the next thing. So he's made huge improvements. Using a child-led approach is something that I do across the board, and You can see that it does take a little bit of extra time, but the end goal is so much more significant when the child is leading the way, making the progress themselves, and choosing to do the activity. Whereas if I'm pushing them to do it, 9 times out of 10, we're not gonna get the end goal that we want. So letting them choose something that's meaningful, something that they like, and letting them lead the way just makes a huge difference in their progress. What I enjoy most about being an occupational therapist is seeing the change in the clients that I work with. Sometimes it takes a couple months, sometimes you can see it over one session. It's just really fulfilling to be a part of. When I have a parent tell me that they were able to see their kid run across the lawn, climb up the ladder, go down the slide, and do it all in the beautiful coordinated way with no tripping, it just brings it home, because that means the parents are able to be parents, the kids are able to be kids. You can just feel the difference that it makes in people's lives.